is also a person who lives in a real life haunted house and wants us to ghost hunt her home.
I do.
Now, I heard you as I was setting things up, talking to Tricia off the air, and you were saying something about it going on for years?
It's been happening for years. At one point, it was so bold that I started documenting it. Oh, this was back in like 2015.
Documenting it as in like a little Dear Diary kind of thing?
Yes.
Or
what would happen? Yeah, look, I have it right here.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
You're not kidding.
No, it was intense back then. And I mean,
oh my
detailed
God, she is
description.
Not
Yeah.
Okay, read us off of some of that diary stuff that you noted.
So one was from July 20th, and that was...
What year?
This was, I want to say 2015. I had just gotten home from a road trip, and I was falling asleep in my bed. And I know for a fact I was tired. I had been on the road all day. And I look over, because I had a hard time falling asleep. I look over, and I just see a white figure kneeling on my bed. Because I had a trundle at that point. So they were kneeling on my bed as if they were praying. So I was like, okay. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it was your guardian angel.
I think it's something to that effect.
Well, if my guardian angel is praying, I'm getting the hell out of there.
I'd be worried.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I know it's great that you see the guardian angel kneeling and praying, but eek.
Yeah, because the guardian angel will have like a sword and it should be ready for anything, not saying, oh, please, God, oh, please, God. So,
yeah, there's been some.
I'm thinking it wasn't the guardian angel. What else you got down there?
There is a constant... Someone is always hitting me. It's right here on my right hand side, in between my arm and my torso.
Hitting you like poking you?
No, like if they were slapping me, like getting something and slapping me with it.
Okay, like
all
they're
the
trying
time
to get your
I feel
attention,
that,
or like they're trying to hurt you.
I think sometimes it's a bit of both. It's constant. It's every day, if not every other day.
Oh wow!
It doesn't matter if I'm at home, if I'm at work, if I'm on the road, and I can sometimes hear it too. And that's where I've told my parents, like...
So what you're saying is right now, this very second, it could, if it
could.
wanted to.
Exactly.
It's a possibility that it drove with you over here.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I wish you would have
take
told us that
you.
before.
Well, it travels with me everywhere, so I'm pretty sure it'll go back with me.
Oh, good.
We would have been like, hey, well, just call us.
I know. We're good. Phone call's great, girl.
Wow.
Great. She brought another one into our studio.
Yeah.
Great.
Let me see if this works. Samantha's ghost. Say something. No? Okay. All right. Well, it was
Maybe they're just shy right now.
Could be. Well, you let us know if it starts poking you or hitting you.
I'll definitely tell you. Yes.
So you said this has been going on for like 5 to 6 years.
For a couple years, yes.
And you wrote to us to please prove to your family that you're not crazy.
Yes, my family thinks I'm crazy.
You.
No,
they think you should be on medication.
My dad especially is like, it's all in your head. It's all in your head. My mom believes me. Well, it's happened to my mom too, but it's mostly when I'm home.
Oh, okay.
Or when it mostly happens to me.
Which part? The poking, the prodding, the slapping, the hitting?
That always happens when I'm by myself, even when I'm with my mom or with anyone else.
But does that happen to your mom as well?
No.
So what is your mom experience?
Well, in her room, their room is in the back of the house. It's an addition to the house. So it's a lot newer. And she always, like, she hears stuff. And it's happened to me when I've been in her bathroom where her stuff just falls. And I've physically seen her slippers they're leaning up and then they just fall.
Wow, that's pretty bold.
When she told me that, I didn't believe it.
Ghost.
Yeah.
It's like it wants you to see.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
You, it's kind of like, you remember in Ghost when Patrick Swayze was learning how to like move things? It's like I feel like the ghost is like going, I'm trying to figure this out, and then they're like inadvertently dropping stuff.
Exactly.
But oh my gosh, but don't do that when I'm here.
Yeah.
I mean, oy.
Yeah, and I mean, I've even seen the outline. And one of the scariest things was I was home alone one day, I remember, and I was looking towards my parents, their part of the house. And I glanced, and I saw an outline of a hat. I thought, okay, whatever. I'm so used to it at this point. I just move on with my day. And at that point, I had contacted Ghost 915 when they had just come out.
Yeah.
And I
This was-
told them.
So a few years ago.
Yes.
When the Reverend Henry Flores, that's when they still did like investigations
Yes.
and that
Right.
kind of stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
I told them I saw a male figure. It had a hat. And I described the hat to the detail of the colors because it was so prominent when I
Oh
saw it.
my gosh.
Well, I didn't know in my room. There's 2 closets, and one of them there's shelves on top. Well, I'm short. I don't reach the shelves, and I didn't know that there was boxes up there. Well, my parents were taking the things down because they were ghost hunting my room, and they took them down. And I'm looking through some stuff, and my mom pulls out a hat, and her and my dad say, "What was the color of the hat?" And I told him it was red and white, and the hat was white. It had a red and a yellow trim to it. They pulled that exact hat out. I did not know those were even in my room. Nonetheless, I hadn't even seen them because the shelves are so high.
Oh my god.
And as I'm telling her, I have my back towards her, so I don't know what she's holding at this point.
And the figure you saw was wearing
That
the
That exact
outline
hat.
of that
Exact hat.
Okay, so what part of town is this? Is this like central or east or west?
It's
or?
central.
It's central.
Whoa.
Yeah,
there it
ooh,
is.
central.
Yeah,
Central's
that's-
like a vortex,
It
man.
pretty much is, man.
I
for
mean,
real.
but it's funny because our psychic, our ghost whisperer I think ghost whisperer is better. Dolores, she's like, I'm pretty much El Paso's like a vortex because the mountains, the way it kind of kind of draws all that energy in.
Yeah.
But she told me, she was like, no, Central El Paso,
Right.
I believe
it's
it.
just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you also say that now, is your mother the only one in your household that has also heard or felt things?
No, my brother.
Your brother as well.
When he's home, the coffee pot is constantly turning on and off. And we turn it off every morning.
Yeah.
And he'll text me and my mom with timestamps.
Like what
did
about
you turn
lights?
this off?
Do lights flicker and stuff as well?
In my room all the time.
Only in your room.
Oh my
But
gosh.
and the coffee pot is in the kitchen.
Is in the kitchen, correct?
And other stuff happens in the kitchen as well, or just that?
Yes. I've heard. I used to hang out in the living room all the time. And it was super late one night. It must have been like about midnight or 1 in the morning. I was there watching TV, and I just hear the kitchen cabinets slam. And they're heavy wood. And I just heard it slam. I got scared.
Well, yeah.
And so I was like, nope, not doing this. I went to my room.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And that's not even the first time that's happened.
Yeah.
So do you feel like it's only one ghost, or do you think it's like more?
I think it's about 2,
Okay.
at least 2.
Do you think they're like separate, or do you think they're working together?
I think they're working together because actually our house is old. It's in Central. It's one of those old sturdy houses. And before my parents bought the house, it was my mom's grandparents' house. So my room, I don't know what that was.
It's here.
Okay.
Keep the door open. Yeah.
My room used to be my great-grandparents' room.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
So-
there's history.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but your great grandparents wouldn't be haunting
Yeah,
you.
exactly. That's why I don't know why my great-grandma is constantly hitting me.
Yeah.
I don't know why my great-grandpa is like, hey, just
Yeah.
letting you know I'm here.
I mean, unless you're totally messing up your life. And your
I mean, I don't
grandma's
think I'm doing
hitting
anything
you
wrong.
because-
I have no life, so I don't know what
If
I'm
there's
doing
no
wrong.
life to
Maybe
mess
that's what
up,
she-
then, yeah.
Exactly.
She's like, Mika, what are you doing?
Probably like, stop being so boring. Go do
Yes.
something.
Maybe she's poking you to go out and find a boy or something. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I have a boyfriend who I'm always with if I'm not at home or at work.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, then
But
she's saying, Mika,
still-
why are you not married?
Yeah.
Kyle.
Well, but then she would be hunting him.
I know,
That's
right?
true.
Okay. All right.
His
We'll be
house
right
is-
back. We're talking to Samantha. Samantha wants us to ghost hunt her home for Halloween.
Yes,
so
I
we're,
do.
We're getting to the bottom of everything so that Ramiro can figure out which home he wants to ghost hunt. We'll be right back. I have some questions that Ramiro wants us to ask you.
Okay.
Mike
cool.
and Tricia Mornings on 93.1 KISS FM. For that, Samantha, he's got some questions that he'd like for you to answer because he read the submission that you sent us, and so he's got some questions that maybe you can expound on or clarify.
Yes.
Okay, so he wants to know, do you recall the circumstances that were happening before, like, everything started? Like, was there a stressful family situation, emotional issues, maybe physical issues?
That's the thing. That's what the Ghost 915 had mentioned to me. They said they might be coming around because there might be a family event or something going on. No, there was nothing.
Yeah. See, because I believe you wrote on there that you've lived there
I've lived there
for 26 years.
Mm-hmm.
But this thing only started the last 5 or so, which is,
And
why.
I don't know if that's when maybe I've noticed more or I just hadn't paid attention previously, but I mean, it jumped out to me for a reason.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
But you can't recall any kind of stressful situation?
No.
Nothing?
Not at all.
Okay.
Okay, another question he has. Have you gotten anything or recently inherited like items like maybe an heirloom or an antique or something like that?
Me personally, no, but like I mentioned, there was those hats in my room, in my closet that I had no idea were in there. So I know there's some stuff that my parents have kept from my mom's grandparents, and I'm pretty sure they're in my closet because there's some boxes that I know for sure aren't mine or my parents.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
right.
I'm pretty sure there's something in there.
And then
Maybe
this is a family house.
Well, yeah, and maybe that's something to ask your mom and dad later.
Yeah.
Before, let's say Ramiro chooses your home, to know in advance, like, oh yeah, you know what? They found this tombstone, and it was really pretty, so he picked it up, and it's been in my closet for the last 5 years. Something like that. It would be good to know.
Yeah.
If there is something like that, because I can't imagine it would be any of your grandparents.
See, that's the thing. I don't know why they would scare me.
Right.
In a way.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not like, oh, hi, Sam. Like, I'm here to acknowledge you're doing good or just want to tell you good morning. Like, no, it's I'm here to scare you.
Yeah.
And torture you.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who it could be. I don't know if I think it's my mom's grandparents, my great-grandparents. I don't know if I'm right or wrong on that.
Okay.
I think I'm just telling myself that too.
To calm it down a
Yes.
little bit in your mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't sound as bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
See, and it doesn't run up the craziness to like
Yeah.
what my parents already think. Like, okay, this girl's crazy.
Right.
Okay. He wants to know if there are like any unusual items in the house, kind of like the whole headstone thing. Like, has anybody picked up anything from an ancient Indian burial ground and brought it home?
Not that I know of. Not that I'm aware of.
What about your brother? How old is he?
He's 22.
You should ask him if he's ever picked something up somewhere or something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the occasional like street signs, like stuff like that. But he's not really. He's never
Street
really
signs.
home.
He's that guy.
He's
Huh?
that guy. Okay.
But I mean, he's never really home, so I really don't
he's
think
out boosting
something.
street signs.
Right?
Yeah.
See, that could be like a ghost. He boosted the stop sign.
Yeah.
Somebody got T-boned.
Yeah. The ghost
Next
is
thing
like,
you
oh
know,
yeah.
they're like,
Yep. They're like, it was him. Go
I'm
hunt that
coming
house.
to get you. Okay, so no on that. What
Okay,
else does
no on
Ramiro
that.
like to know?
Okay, we talked about your workplace, that you've had things happening at your workplace.
Yeah.
And
How
then
bad at your workplace?
To the point where I've texted my boss like, "When are you coming back to work?"
Oh,
Because
no.
I'm alone. I'm scared.
But like how bad does it get? Like what do they do? Just let their presence be known, or do they do anything in particular?
Yesterday, it's crazy because yesterday I was putting some stuff away. Something fell. I heard it fall. Could not find it.
Oh God, I hate that.
And I was looking and I was like, no, I heard it fall. It has to be right here. There was nothing. I've heard them even when sometimes I'll be on the computer and have my headphones on. I've heard them speak in my ear. And I was like, no. I jumped up at that point. I was scared.
And what is this when they say ma'am or
That's when they said ma'am, yes.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And there's I'll be on the computer and I have my keyboard. Well, the keyboard's a little higher.
Right, yeah.
And I had my pens over here and my pen just
Yeah.
twisted.
Well,
And that was maybe about a month or two ago.
at least it's a polite, respectful ghost.
I know. It's not
Ma'am,
yo.
Yeah.
And see, that's
They have
why
manners.
that's why I don't think it's your grandparents, because they wouldn't call you ma'am.
Yeah, no.
That's
They
true.
would call
Yeah.
you mija
Yeah.
Yeah.
or something else, but not ma'am
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know
or
who's
what.
following me or what is
I
following me
know,
for that
right?
matter.
Okay, and then the other question is, do you or your family consider yourselves to be especially religious?
We are.
Okay.
Yes. And that's the thing too.
Which is probably what's freaking your parents out.
exactly.
Because you're not supposed to, like, it's in the Bible. You're not supposed to talk to spirits, and you're not supposed to even really believe in them
or acknowledge them.
or acknowledge them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's of the devil. And so, Yeah, so that's probably why your parents are going, no, mija, no, you're just crazy.
Yes.
It's better to be crazy than to
Right.
be talking to ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah. But your mother has felt them as well,
My
you
mom.
said.
Yeah.
The only one that hasn't is my dad, or if he has, he hasn't told us.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he's the one that told me last week, like, no, it is all in your head.
Uh-huh.
So I was
Okay.
like, okay.
All
I'm
right.
just gonna keep on documenting
I
what's
know.
happening to me over here.
And I'm gonna call the radio station.
I
I'm gonna
love
prove you guys
I
wrong.
love that she's documented everything in this little journal-like
I
thing.
know. That's crazy.
Okay.
Okay, now here's my question. What do your parents think about the possibility of getting their house ghost hunted?
They're all for it.
Are they
They'd be
really?
okay with
because
it?
it's
Oh.
happened for so long. I think at this point we all just want answers as to who it could be, why they're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, like
That's
why
it.
you?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, at this point it's just we want answers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you,
Ah.
Samantha, for
Thank
dropping
you
by
guys
this
for
morning and
having
telling
me.
us all about it. We appreciate that. We'll get in touch with you by the end of the week because
Okay.
Friday, Ramiro will make his decision
Yeah.
and we'll all get together and powwow and say,
Sounds
okay,
good.
this one.
Yes.
All right. So thank you for coming by this morning.
Thank you, guys.
Samantha
Thank
wants
you.
us to ghost hunt her home. It's Mike and Tricia Mornings on 93.1 KISS FM.